Morrie's Cadillac is out here today with the all-new 2015 Cadillac Escalade. What I'd like to do is show you the interior, the exterior, and then give you a driving review. So this Escalade is the Platinum Edition, finished in gray silk metallic. You're going to notice these larger wheels new for 2015. You also get blind spot detection in this vehicle, all the way down to the little things like Cadillac custom put into these cool LED headlights. This vehicle all around really shows a sense of class and style, and I mean it has a demanding presence to it. Whether it's these new headlights or those LED beams in the taillight as well, I think Cadillac did an amazing job restyling this vehicle. So standing at the back of the Escalade now with the hatch open, which is a power hatch, it doesn't look like there's much room, but that's where this comes in. These are power folding seats for the middle row captain's chairs, as well as these rear rows here as well. I'll show you how that works. So these ones you're just gonna hold down and they will fold flat, and the third row will come back up automatically as well. The captain's chairs you do have to manually pull back up as it's part of a safety hazard that they can't go up automatically. All right, so now we're gonna go for a spin in this new 2015 Escalade. I've always been a fan of the Escalade. You know, it just seems like a prestigious vehicle. It's a large SUV. When I first jumped in, I was like, man, this thing feels like an RV, but when you get driving around, it's got plenty of horsepower to get you moving for how big this truck is. I mean, that was one real big worry of mine, is that it might not have enough get up and go. But I'll tell you what, you know, it's quiet get up and go. It's not feeling like the engine needs a ton of work to get you moving. And I think this thing is great. The amount of amenities inside, this is the Platinum again, so that is the top of the line Escalade. And I can't think of anything this truck is missing. The first thing you're gonna notice is that heads-up display right in the center. So that's telling me my radio station, how fast I'm going, that I'm on FM. I can switch between the Bluetooth, the XM, Sirius radio, all that stuff, and it's gonna tell me more that way. But I mean, that is cool. That feels like technology that I would use every day, having that. The center display here is really cool. It's all digital. You can use the arrows on the steering wheel to control between the different modes. Again, that's going to tell you just your regular instrument cluster, everything you'd expect there. But a few other things you're going to get would be things like that XM radio. It's going to tell you that. It's going to give you your navigation right there. You get all sorts of really cool stuff in there. Some of the reviews you read say that the Q system isn't the greatest, but you know what? I've spent a decent amount of time in these cars. It's through most of the Cadillac lineup, and you'll find that once you have it, it's really tough to give it up. Just because of how user-friendly it is. I mean, it's simple to use. There's little tips and tricks where you can kind of go through with your radio, with your voice commands, all that stuff. And once you get all that figured out, it's awesome. It's, I mean, hands down, one of the best systems you can find today on the market. Another thing that's really cool inside, you click here and you feel like James Bond, where the center dash comes out. You have a USB plug-in down there. You can store your phone or anything out of sight, your wallet, lock the truck up and go. And people who don't know would never find it. Outside of that, it is a 7-passenger, so the Platinum's gonna have the captain's chairs in the back. This one does have the TVs in the rear as well, so you can get the kids in the back, let them watch their movies, play their games, whatever they're gonna do if you're heading up to the cabin. And you're gonna have plenty of space. So that third row, I'll show you that as well, how that folds down. It's really nice and easy to use. It's all through buttons on the back, and I mean, Cadillac couldn't have made that any more simple. So one of the other things that's kind of neat is right here, when you slide this little tray open, there's a small snowflake design with a bottle there. And what that does, that's gonna turn on the center console refrigeration unit that's in here. You can store a bottle of water in there, you can put your Diet Coke, whatever you're drinking can go in there, and you can have access to it right inside the armrest. Super cool. This truck is amazing. For the amount of stuff you can have in here, I mean, you don't even need a house. You just live right in this Escalade. On the highway, so we're doing about 55. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's relaxed feeling. You don't get a sense of, like I said before, being in a really big truck. I mean, this is a good size SUV, and it slows down nicely, it gets up and goes nicely. And I think that is hugely important, because if you're in a big truck like this, you're worried about merging in and out of traffic. Where am I going to park the thing is one thing I always think in some of the huge SUVs, but you know what? This one's pretty good as far as that goes. I was driving around the lot earlier, and it has a smaller feel to it. I almost feel like I'm in an SRX, not the Escalade, but when you need it to be a big truck, like in the wintertime, I spent a little bit of time in one of these in the snow. In the all-wheel drive system, there's a setting down here where you can pick between 2, 4, or an auto. And once you leave it in auto, you won't ever think about it. Overall, you know, the new 2015 is the newest body style. It's the update. You get the different headlights, the LED taillight bars in the back. It's such a good looking truck. I think the Escalade has always been sort of the top of the class as far as large SUVs go. It does everything. It's got all the comforts you'd expect and more. I mean, if you're looking for an SUV to fit 7, 8 passengers in and cruise up north for the weekend, or just bring the kids to practice or whatever you're doing going to work, I think the Escalade should be your #1 choice. Thanks for watching our quick overview on the all-new 2015 Cadillac Escalade. If you'd like to schedule your test drive, call, click, or stop by today. Thanks again for watching, and make sure you buy happy.